G'day, mate, and welcome to UWatt. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, hello and welcome to the second episode edition show of UWatt. I am Jace, and as always, I am joined by my buddy Squeak. Squeak, how has your week been?
It's been alright. I've not really done much, if I'm honest.
Okay.
But yeah.
As always.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Or just that you don't do much most weeks, I feel.
I have an amazingly busy schedule, if you don't mind.
All filled with appointments of nothing throughout the day.
But my schedule is fully booked.
Cool. Yeah, so let's just go straight into it. Is there any games that you've been playing this week at all worth mentioning?
I bought the Telltale Games collection.
Okay.
The Walking Dead. It's got
Has it got the Wolf Among Us? Is that
Game of Thrones, Wolf Among Us, yeah. It's the only ones it's not got is the Minecraft and the Back to the Future one coming out. But
okay.
yeah.
With the Borderlands one, isn't like the final episode coming out soon? So have they released it, but like 4 episodes instead of the 5 or whatever?
Yeah, they've done the 4, and the 5th one of Game of Thrones is coming out soon as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I remember like you mentioned, I don't know if it was just the day before that you touched on a bit of Dead Space 3, and I wondered how that went because Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2 didn't go very well for you.
Well, Dead Space 3 is a bit more of a shooter, to be honest. Like
Okay.
one was, I'd say, the scariest, and then 2 was like a mix. But 2, I think 2 was the better one. And then 3 sort of turned into a bit more of a shooter. Like, there's not really many jump scares or anything like that.
So is it another series that's kind of become washed out as the episodes go on?
I wouldn't say washed out is a bit. It's one of those terms where it's almost like it's milk to death sort of thing. But I'd say it's one of those where they've made it more for everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, a bit more ease of access sort of thing. Like, I mean, personally, I don't like horror games, but
you play an awful lot of them.
Yeah,
I might have to remember to put like a link through to your channel just so people can watch, because like you played the first before you had the webcam, and you playing Outlast. It's just like no. And it's just like nope, I'm done.
Yeah, but I don't like horror games. But I have this weird like of playing them sort of thing. Like
or it was what was it called? Like the Alien, and didn't you do like multiple part 6s?
Yeah. Because I kept dying and I didn't want to cut it. It'd be too long to cut in one episode. The thing is like, you say I play a lot of them, but at the end of the day, I played Outlast, I played Alien. Neither of them are finished. Like, they're just they've been sat there for how long? Like,
God knows, Jesus, your library's so extensive of games that you couldn't finish.
No, I was just too scared. On the Outlast,
what was that game called? What was that game called? Viva Pinata, and you were terrified of that, so you never finished that either.
Oh yeah. All the colours. It's too bright.
Cool, so yes, you've been playing quite a bit then this week, I guess. If you've got the Telltale collection, there's like on there, isn't it?
To be honest, I've only really played the Borderlands 1 through to chapter 4.
Do you know, I've never played one. I've never played a single. I've watched like the Yogscast Hannah. I watched her when she played through The Walking Dead, and it looked really good.
You've not played The Walking Dead one?
I've not played a single one. No, that's what I mean. I've watched Hannah play it from start to finish, and it was really good. Like, it looked really good.
Yeah. The thing is, it's one of those where I think that that kind of game as well, where like people can watch. Do you know what I mean? Like certain games, like you can't really get into and watch because there's not much going on.
The thing is, though, as their name says, they're called Telltale, aren't they? So they tell good
it's
stories.
Story driven. Like it's it's pretty good. And the thing is, like, I was a bit skeptical when they first announced it, like way back Point and click sort of thing. And I'm not a hater of point and click games, but I'm not a big fan of them because, they're easy to lose interest in if they're not that interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good story.
Okay.
As well.
Because you were saying to me about The Wolf Among Us. Doesn't it take like old fables and stuff and mix them into the story and take different angles? But it's the original story, not the Mickey Mouse Disney remakes.
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed The Wolf Among Us. Like you say, it's sort of it's the proper fables. It's not like it's not the Disney ones. So like. But it's brought into like a modern world as well. So I mean, like the Little Mermaid is a stripper.
Happy days.
Georgie Porgy is a pimp. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's quite good. Like,
okay.
I enjoyed it.
Is Cinderella in there? Because I remember. I mean, I don't know how many people are of the generation, but do you remember that show Hal back in the day?
Hal.
Yeah, that's Hal for now, and you had like
Hal, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember on there, and they were talking about some of the original fables, and apparently Cinderella, I can't remember where it was from, but in the translation, the word for fur and the word for glass were very similar. So they were saying that it could be very well that Cinderella actually had a fur slipper that she left behind,
okay,
rather than a glass slipper, because high heel shoes aren't referred to as slippers.
Okay.
There you go.
I did not know that. I did not know that. The more you know.
Yeah. Just before I go into the next section, I mean, I know we've only had one episode, but those that know me can obviously hear that my voice is a bit different. I do apologise for any sneezes or coughs I miss out in editing. I am feeling a bit poorly, but I won't dwell on it. I've got a week off coming up soon, so I'll get to enjoy that. But yeah, so apologies for my weird sounding voice. But I know Squeak's normally the designated weird voice, but you got two this week. Yeah. So next up, just wanted to just have a quick talk because obviously there was a bit of discussion on our party chat again. This one was about Black Ops 3, and Spreeze was saying about how quite a few of us do the game share, and Spreeze came up with the theory that Black Ops 3 was taken off of digital download because they wanted people to buy the hard copies. So I did a bit of searching, did a bit of looking. And I saw who was it that was reporting about it? It was Polygon.com, and they were just saying that the Black Ops 3 download reappeared on the game store, but is missing in other places. And it's saying that it's available again for pre-order, but like it seems like the standalone has disappeared still, but the pre-order edition that comes with like the digital deluxe, like that comes with the season pass and stuff, that one has returned, but not the Black Ops standalone. And they were just saying like they reached out to Microsoft, and a representative said that the game was temporarily removed from the store, but it was actively engaged with Activision to return it as soon as possible. So there's question marks over to what it is. I thought that Spreeze did raise some good points in them trying to do it a different way, but at the same time, production costs and paying game stores, I guess, costs more than to just do it. Yeah. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
It's one of those things where, like, I think the game share thing would only eat into their profit margin as such. It wouldn't eat into the profits. Do you know what I mean? As on a whole, like a grossing sort of thing. Like, it's one of those where it's like you say, for them to produce and make it would cost a lot more than just copying a file, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's I more think it's to do with just like Sony throwing money at them.
Okay. Obviously we've been playing Call of Duty for a while, and over time, kind of, as mentioned earlier, when a series goes on, it starts to become quite washed out. I mean, how are you feeling about the release of Black Ops 3 this year? I mean, we weren't really fussed about Advanced Warfare, were we? Ghost was quite good. I don't know if you played Ghosts, but
yeah, I did. I didn't mind Ghosts. The thing is like, I personally like zombies, and part of me would be like, oh, I'd buy the game so that I could play zombies on the social aspect, but I'm not getting it. Like, I mean, when it comes to it, you're paying like a certain amount for half the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point in buying that game then?
Yeah. Did
I
you
should.
play on the beta at all in the multiplayer?
I did. I didn't like it.
So yeah, it's strange because I thought it was all right, but
I just thought it was Call of Duty. But I mean, the only thing is that I found is the animation, and it's that put me off, and it's that why I found it was sort of the same animation as Modern Warfare 3,
yeah.
where when you run, you've got the swingy arms, like your arms are going 100 mile an hour.
The thing is, I was reading up today on some of the in quotation marks top features, and I don't know if this would bring you back in, but apparently the campaign they've tried to make it so that it's not made of linear corridors, but they've referred to it more as arenas. So obviously it'll still be kind of like you have to get through these waves of stuff to kind of get on in the mission. But
Yeah,
it's not going to be buildings walking down corridors and very straightforward. It's up to you, kind of the angle that you try and take to get from A to B. But they've said that it's 4-player online co-op through the
yeah,
campaign. But the thing is, I wonder how they're going to do it, because wasn't it was it World at War that said they had like co-op campaign, but then you basically went into a lobby and then you had to vote on which mission to do. You weren't working through the missions.
yeah. It was actually. Yeah,
So I wonder how they do it.
I completely forgot about that. To be honest with you, well, that war wasn't too bad though in co-op.
No, it
But
wasn't. But you got to think, was it not too bad because of like think how old the game is now? Like
yeah,
if that
it's
came
like
out now in that way, would we be happy with it?
yeah, like I mean, if you do campaign, you want it to be like co-op campaign. You want it to be like Halo or
I was just about to say the same thing. What I love with Halo is when we used to play it, I was like, right lads, game's out. It's like Saturday morning. Who's on? Got the 4. Put it on campaign, and then literally when you've started it, it goes through itself. You don't have to keep going back out to lobbies and picking the next
yeah,
mission. You know, because I like the way
and
that was it? Which one was it? Was it ODST? Was that the one where like we'd be able to go and like look through? It was almost sandboxing. We were able to
yeah,
go back
yeah.
and
It
look
was
through. I really like that one.
it was like it was just like a big map on
Yeah,
ODST, wasn't it? Yeah,
I like the way that they did that.
I thought that was quite good because it was also it was kind of a different move for Halo, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
Halo was pretty much the point A to point B, whereas this was like I
yeah.
don't
Like
know.
we were trying to run back and find like the extra things and get hints stuff. Yeah, I mean, if they were to do a campaign, it was 4 players, and I feel like if you went, okay, we're starting a mission 1, and then the 4 of us just play through, then I reckon it might be for me a game that I say, do you know what, I've bought it. 'Cause me and
Yeah,
you've got game share anyway, so if I buy it, you've got it. The 2 of us are playing it. Because I understand what you mean with the whole not buying it just to play zombies.
yeah, yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, they've kept under wraps on what is going to be in zombies as they do every year. They don't really say anything
They
about.
actually showed a trailer of it though.
Okay.
They've not given away too much, but I think if I remember, it looks like it almost looked like some 50s setting. If I remember, I think they had like Tommy guns, and I say 50s. That might be a bit late, like 20s maybe.
Yeah.
But
They,
yeah, like
they've said that apparently there's been a hint at there being a story-driven kind of zombies. I mean, zombies always had like a underlining story, didn't it? There was always something going
yeah,
on.
like yeah. I actually the thing is I do like zombies. Like the first ones weren't much of a thing other than a sort of horde mode,
Yeah.
and then they sort of. I mean, you could have played all of them like that, but they sort of put it in where you had your little Easter eggs and your objectives to like reach that goal sort of thing, like.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sort of made it a bit more interesting. I mean, it's one of those where you'd actually have like your team as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then like if a random come along, you'd be like, oh, they've messed it up, sort of thing. Like,
I wonder if they'll try and do what Advanced Warfare done and try and add like what was it called, Exo Zombies or whatever. Because I never bought that DLC, so I didn't know what it played like. But they obviously tried to add zombies and gave them exosuits,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
a weird move. I've seen today. I was watching some videos of a new mode they've come up with, free run mode. I don't know if you've seen the video for that.
Free run mode.
So what they've
No.
done is obviously where you've got like where they've added games are more adding the wall running and the boosting and stuff. It was part of their Black Ops stream, and they showed this free run mode, and it's like an obstacle course, and the 2 guys were playing it split screen, and yeah, just trying to get across the course. So it involves like wall running. There's not enemies to kill in it, but getting across getting through the track in the fastest time possible.
Oh, almost like a time trial, or
Yeah, like that.
yeah.
But then they added in bits, so like when you're running, you do pick up a gun, and then as you're doing the wall run and jump from wall to wall, targets come up, and you have to shoot the target in order for this wall to come down. Otherwise, yeah, you can't get past that bit. Every time you miss a shot, it adds on a second to your time. Obviously, if you don't shoot the target and then you hit the wall and you fall, you start from the checkpoint again. And I feel that if I was to get that game, it might become another Trials
Yeah,
issue for me.
I was gonna say, I think that will add in sort of a bit of longevity to the game, because it's one of those where if you're into like time trials or just beating your friends, or even like if you're one of those people that you're not really bothered about it being fast, but you want like the perfect run. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think among us, it depends on how many of us play it, because like, you know, when the first Trials came out on Xbox 360, and we sort of played that, and I remember I played that, like I was addicted to getting the top score on that. I had all of the beginners, I had all of the easies, and I remember like, I don't know if it was Hugsy's friends or someone like that, I ended up adding people and then like beating their scores, but then some of them, their scores were so ridiculous, I was like, you know what, fuck you, deleted them, so I was back at the top. I mean, I don't know if you remember the rage when playing Trials.
yeah,
It was just, it was ridiculous, and I feel that depending on how it goes, you know, with us lot, every now and again something comes up, and if you know Spree starts giving it the big one that he's got this time, I feel that I may become obliged to beat that time.
Yeah, no,
and I feel that's where the game could pick up, that's where the game could fall. Like that mode there isn't, but it's one of those where is it an afterthought? So like they showed the one track on there, which was cool. Are they going to have multiple different tracks of different difficulties?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
So
I know what you mean. And the thing is, then it's like, it just comes to my mind, like, what if, you know, it's just another thing for them to add DLC for? Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, paid DLC.
yeah, exactly. So yes, I mean that's pretty much all that's gone on with looking at Black Ops at the moment. I don't know if I'll get it, but we'll see what happens close to the time.
I was gonna say I'm not convinced. I'm not. It's one of those where I think Call of Duty now is just sort of.
I think it's one of those where if you think here, the age that we were when like Modern Warfare came out and those games, I feel like the younger generation that are at that age there at like 16, 17, like, you know, when you start to you get a job and you start to be able to pay for your own games, like those guys will be at age you're gonna be like, yeah, like I can go and buy that game, like I'm gonna go play it. Obviously you get like the 11-year-old and stuff whose mum buy it for them anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a bit different when you're able to, you know, buy your own stuff. You end up buying things because you've got that disposable income. But yeah, I wanted to move on into the next, like, you know, we're trying to be a gaming and tech show. Recently, I've been looking at a new car. Been looking on Twitter, and at the same time, there happens to be a car that's appeared on Twitter. Not that I can buy it, but I don't know if you've heard of the Tesla Model S. It's been trending at the moment on over the last week.
I've not seen the Tesla S. I know Tesla, they're all about the electric supercars, isn't it?
Yeah. So they've come up with the Tesla Model S, which is a sedan, but it has autopilot. So,
really?
So yeah. So, you know, there's been things that, like, Ford a few years ago, Ford developed the parking assist, where you could like park next to some, like, go pull up next to a spot, press the button, and then your car would analyze the spot and park into it. Well,
Yeah.
Tesla have tried to come up with, well, they've come up with the autopilot, and loads of videos came out of like it driving around and this, that, and the other. But it's one of those where, like, because it's been hyped up so much, Tesla have had to say, where is it? The hardware and software are not yet at the point where a driver can abdicate responsibility, because, you know, they've got this autopilot, but people need to know.
And people are stupid.
Exactly.
Like, let's just make it simple. People are stupid. Like, and the thing is, I just want to say, the thing you're on about the automatic parking kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's technology. I don't think that's technology. I think it's magic.
You think it's magic?
Magic.
Okay, so UWatt, the show discussing gaming, tech, and magic.
Dark wizardry is at hand. Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite funny because obviously in America they've got loads of different vehicles that are coming up. I mean, have you seen, I can't remember what the company's called, but they've got like quad cars, which are like cars that are basically the size of a quad bike, and like if I was to pick you up, you'd have to sit behind me, like, you know, it's like a single file car.
Okay.
And it's like the size of a smart car, like it's smaller than a smart car. It looks pretty cool.
So it's a bit like a two-seater Sinclair C5. Is that what
Yeah.
you're telling me? But you know how successful they were, right? I don't want to be that guy.
No, I know. The thing that's funny is it's one of those where like we're moving ever closer to the future that Wally, kind of given us an insight into. The problem is that when you've got places like America that are becoming quite free in the way that they're doing things and they're being innovative, and then when you look at like the UK, so it might even been this week, and I was most upset to find out that the UK have been using the 1835 Highway Act to ban, in quotation marks, hoverboards. So those that know me know that I've been whizzing around on that.
You know what? I don't like that term as well because they're not hoverboards.
They're not hoverboards, no.
They're not hoverboards.
Mini
segways.
Let me look at what it says on my box. Hold on. It's a smart balance wheel is what it is. I think they were technically down as electric scooters.
Is Segway a thingy term? A copyrighted term?
Possibly, quite possibly. But yeah, it's just one of those where, like, with the legislation, I was just reading, like, it's one of those things. The legislation that they're using, the acts that they're using, predates the penny farthing.
Yeah. That's how they do it over here, though.
But it wouldn't be so bad if there was an actual reason or a case study or, just something that happened. Like so-and-so rode, like the guy that created the Segway, didn't he ride one off a cliff?
The thing is, though, is to me, I don't know if he did ride one off a cliff, actually. If he did, he's an idiot. Like, I mean, he can make the coolest thing ever, but you ride off a cliff on your own invention, and you're a bit of a.
But I feel like if that's happened, there's a case study there where it can be deemed dangerous. They've just said
money, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like that's the easiest way to put it. It's a way for them. The thing is, though, they won't stop them old people on them little motorized scooters, will they?
Tell me about it. My local area, full of them, mate.
And the thing is, they don't care. They'll ram into you and stuff. They're like, I've got right away because I'm old and I'm on a four-seater.
The thing is, and they go on the path and the road, and I'm pretty sure they go similar speeds to the smart balance wheels.
They go 8 miles an hour, isn't it?
So yeah, it's quite annoying really, and that thing was set to blow up to be like the biggest thing for Christmas, but hey. So yeah, it's one of those things that with technology, I feel like we're moving closer and closer to the world of Wall-E. Where we'll get to a point where we just kind of get in a car, press where we're going to go.
I thought you was going to say where we're all just really fat.
Well, that's how I was going to get, though, because you've got to think, if you're not moving your arm to steer the car, what's going to happen to your arms? They're going to become jelly, all fat. It starts off with cars that drive themselves, then it's chairs, individual pods.
The thing is, though, you say that, it's like, I don't think it would get to that point, because, I mean, you have all that stuff in it about like obesity is unhealthy and people that are fat are unhealthy, even though like they can fucking do whatever. It's just that's a whole different argument, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But
okay, that's so cool. Yeah, so it's just like I just thought it was cool how Tesla have come up with this auto driver. The thing is, I don't think things like that would take off in the UK because we're really cynical about loads of stuff, whereas in America, again, I just feel like...
To be honest with you, I see the auto drive thing, and the automatic braking and all sort of systems that they put in place, like the reverse parking kind of sensors and stuff. I just see it as a thing that can go wrong.
That's the thing. Who shared the video? Was it like that Volvo that was supposed to... Mercedes supposed to have an auto brake?
I was about to mention that.
Oh my god.
And
so describe it for those that haven't seen it.
Well, you can link it as well, but it's basically they're stood in front of the car, and they're expecting it to stop, and they get run the fuck over. Like, I mean, that is the
shouldn't have really, but it's the way that the way the video's set up. You would think that they're about to demo this technology working really well, and it just doesn't.
I think it's that thing as well. If they put total faith in something that doesn't acknowledge them, do you know what I mean? Like I'm a human. You go like, oh, that's another person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
the thing is as well is certain things like I kind of feel like the speed they drove the car at. You didn't need to drive that fast to prove that it broke. Like you could have gone 5 miles an hour and let the car stop.
Yeah.
And those people had a lot of faith in that car. They must have been the ones that designed it, because they were just like, yeah, we got this.
The thing is, as well, I'm watching it now. It's like he doesn't. The guy is stood there and he doesn't flinch up until where it hits him. Like, that's how much faith he has in it. He's like, this will work. Like,
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, like, it's one of those. It's like, all I can imagine is when he gets hit is like, I've made a huge mistake. Like, yeah, it is, and this is why we shouldn't fully trust technology.
No, I think I completely agree. I think technology is really great, but I think once we become really dependent upon it and get it to a point where it supersedes us, Skynet, say no more.
I was about to say as well, and I've seen Terminator.
Exactly.
Like,
hashtag end of the world, Tesla Model S. That's where it begins. I've been saying it for, like, on my Facebook, I don't even know, a few times, but humanity is just spiraling out of control. You know, first it was these 5 pence bags, then it was the banning of the quotation marks hoverboards.
I've just watched that video clip we was on about, and there's another one with like 2 guys driving the car and they jump out as it's still going and try to stand in front of it, and like they're just running along in front of it. So obviously this technology does not work.
Okay.
like,
cool. So yeah, just moving on then to our last segment each week. So we got the WhatsApp segment. This week I was playing. You know, last week The Walking Dead came back, so I thought it made sense. They advertised that there was this new app, The Walking Dead No Man's Land. There was that app a little while back. I can't remember what it was called, that David was getting us to play, and it was like an RPG of The Walking Dead. This one, you kind of move a bit more strategy like. You drag, you know, you got your 3 survivors. It starts off with you being saved by Daryl, I think it is, and then it kind of teaches you the controls. So it moves a bit like XCOM, in the sense of like a person has 2 action points, so you can move them to one spot and it will cost 1 action point. Move them further and it costs 2, but you can move them and attack to make them to do it. And then there's also, if you don't use your action points, if you still got 1 action point, and then you choose to end your turn, then those people go into Overwatch. So any zombie that walks next to them, they'll hit it.
Yeah.
I got to a point where it's one of those games where like it works on energy. So you have like 6 energy, and once you do a mission, it takes away one of your energies. As time goes on, obviously your energy runs out, and then you have to wait for it to recharge, which is a bit annoying when you get into the game, and then you're kind of like, oh, I want to do this mission, but I can't. There's also the thing of like you can only have so many survivors in your camp. You have to upgrade your camp to be able to have more survivors, but you can only ever take 3 at a time on a mission.
So wait up. So the energy.
It's like fuel, because you have to go out in the mission car. That's the way they've played it.
Okay, yeah.
So like, you only have 5 trips, say, and like this mission takes like 2 bits of fuel to do.
So, and then you've got to wait for you to get your energy back to play, sort of thing. So it's almost like got a time limit on it. It's sort of like Simpsons tap out. So
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then when you're upgrading your survivors, you have to pay like your resources to upgrade them, and then it'd be like 30 seconds for the first level, then like 5 minutes for the second, like half an hour for the third. And so I imagine when you get to like the max levels, you're gonna have to like upgrade somebody and leave them for like a day. The heroes, survivors, they come with different classes. There's one that like uses like small weapons like blades and stuff. There's one that's a bit more heavy, that when you attack with them, they stun a zombie for one go. Just unlocked a guy that came with a gun. I think they're called hunters. The thing with those is that like the guy that I've got, he can shoot in like a straight line, and it hits all the zombies in that line. When it tries to crit them. But every time you take a shot, it will attract zombies, and at the bottom there'll be a counter, and it'll be like in five turns another wave will come, and the more shots you take, the more zombies that will appear on that next wave. So sometimes it is best to try and do the close quarters like stabbing, but when you've got like loads, so when there's 4 in a row, it's really tempting to just shoot and hit the 4 in a row. Do you know what I mean? But then it means that in a few more turns you're gonna have those zombies. I mean, I played it a bit. I would like to play a bit more to see if humans come into play.
I'm watching it now.
The levels are quite short.
I just got it up on YouTube. It looks very much like XCOM. Like, I mean,
just about the cover system.
I mean, what you've got like your two bars underneath. I'm guessing that's like your moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it's all right. I mean, I liked it. The only thing that I feel annoys me is that it's taken that model that a lot of games a lot of app games have taken, where you play it through, you're doing really well, and then you have to wait half an hour to get one bit of energy, or you got a mission and it says you need level 4 characters, but to get to a level 4 character takes so long that you're spending ages actually upgrading and not able to play the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like I like the way it looks. It's really good. I like the way they've gone through the effort with like the animations and the story. So I think
I was gonna say for a mobile game, the actual graphics look pretty.
That's the thing. It looks really good. It plays all right, but it's just too slow for what I actually want to play. So I think this week I will give this game 3 out of 5. What was I calling it? Is it 3 watts out of 5? I don't know, something cheesy like that. But yeah, so I give it a 3 out of 5 for this week. So yeah, I mean that's been this week's show. Squeak, is there anybody you want to shout out this week?
No.
Because I loved it. I keep mentioning him. People are gonna just like wonder who's this Sprees guy. But it was really funny how he was saying this week. He was like, you got to earn that shout out. Certain people earn the shout out. So for that statement, Sprees, I salute you, sir. There's your shout out. Yeah. So I mean, anybody that is listening to this, please share it with others. Like, subscribe to the YouTube. Just look for UWatt. U with the 2 dots above. That's your Alt 0220. That's how you make the character Squeak. No space. WATT.
It's a bit much, isn't it?
Our Twitter underscore UWatt. Again, underscore letter U WATT. And yeah, until next week. Peace.
Laters.